is up, everybody? This is Keith. I go by Gator Guy 231 across the DFS industry, and we are covering the FA Cup final without Manchester City. That's like crazy, right? Win the League Cup. They're probably going to win the Champions League, but they did not qualify for the FA Cup final. It is Chelsea versus Leicester, and it'll be an interesting slate. Neither one of these teams are exactly like the most DFS friendly. You have a couple guys that are going to be locking loads. I'll go over that in a minute. But some guys that are very tilting. And I think ultimately in this game, getting the goals or getting the goalie right could be the difference between whether you are cashing, winning GPPs, or way outside the bubble. So we'll go over all that. Also going to go over some strategy on playing Showdown. I think this is only like the second or third Soccer Showdown video I've done. So do want to kind of give you guys some tips on how to play Soccer Showdowns. But a quick reminder. First, we need you to like, comment, and subscribe to all the amazing stuff here at the Mayo Media Network. I am so fortunate to be part of it and want to make sure that all of you are watching all of the great content that is on this channel. If you want to find more from me, you can find me out at GatorGuy231 on Twitter, and follow our YouTube channel, FSI DFS. Search Fantasy Sports Insight, or if you can search FSI DFS, it'll all get you to the same place. We have amazing content on there as well. So I'd love for you nothing more than to be plugging your Mayo, getting your Mayo Media Network, getting your FSI, and winning a ton of money in DFS. All right, so I want to start out before going into the game and just talk Soccer Showdown, just quick basics. If you've played a ton, hit fast forward for about a minute. But the basics of DFS soccer, especially in the Showdown format, is the first lock in the set pieces. So set pieces are corner kicks, free kicks. They are like your guaranteed points, right? Every team, kind of scary to say that. Watch, I'm going to say it and then it not happen. But every team normally gets a number of corner kicks, number of dead ball opportunities, where the primary set piece taker gets a chance to cross the ball in the box to hopefully create a scoring opportunity. On DraftKings, you get 0.7 DK for the cross. So guaranteed point there. And if it results in a shot, that's a shot assist. So now I have 1.7 DK. So all of a sudden, on slates where sometimes, getting 6 to 8 DraftKings points from any player is hard to do. You got 1.7 just for one play, for one dead ball, because that guy was the one that was assigned as the set piece taker. And you can research and find out who does that. Look at past games, look at corners, go watch YouTube clips. So many different ways to do it. The score, go on Sofa Score. You can look for the shade around the corner. All these different ways you can find the set piece takers. After the set piece takers, the only other, and we got to oftentimes play in a world where we don't know if a goal will happen, right? This game specifically has a 2.25 total, very, very low. So the books say most likely 2 goals, more than likely not 3, right? So all of a sudden, just spending all of our money on strikers that may or may not score, and if they don't score, may only get like 2 DraftKings points. That's probably going to sink your lineup. So you play in a world where you just look for, if a goal doesn't happen, who are the guys likely to accumulate DraftKings points? We do that with crosses. So we're looking at the wide players. So guys like fullbacks, wingbacks, wingers, guys on the outside of the pitch. And the DraftKings systems tend to score better. They drop more fouls. They get crossing opportunities. They get shot opportunities. They always seem to score better than guys in the center of the pitch. So tying that all back to this slate, you very well can be playing all fullbacks and all set takers for your cash build. Now, typically, to win a GPP, you're going to need the goal scorer. If the games end 1-0, very good chance that the goalie of the team that has 1-0 got a goal's worth of points, right? He gets 5 DK for the win, 5 DraftKings points for the clean sheet, and then any save he gets is 2. He loses 2 if he allows a goal, but he won 1-0, so nothing's allowed. So again, that's the strategy. I know that was quick. I hope that helped at least put some basis on the picks that we're going to talk about. All right, let's go to the game. Chelsea versus Leicester. Chelsea is a solid favorite. They're minus 107. Leicester is plus 317. And as I said, a 2.25 total. All right, let's go over the hierarchy of sets, because both of these teams can give you a headache with who's taking the set pieces. For Chelsea, if on the pitch, which I cannot imagine he wouldn't be in a cup final, but Mason Mount, cover of this article or of this video, Mason Mount will definitely take some sets. Next in line would be Reece James, who has been on and off corner kicks this year, but last game, which we need to go use the most recent game as evidence, was the only other player to take with Mason Mount. After that, if on the pitch, we might see Hakeem Ziyech take. I don't think he's going to play, but that would be the next guy. And then after that, and not guaranteed to take anything, would be Ben Chilwell. On the Leicester side, here's where it gets very confusing. For the longest stretch, for 2+ years at Leicester, we have seen James Maddison take every single set piece. He has not taken set pieces since being back from injury. It was Youri Tielemans who took the entire time he was gone. And then even when he was back on the pitch. Well, now recently we've seen Mark Albrighton come in and be taking all of the corners over Tielemans. So the hierarchy of sets, in my opinion, is Mark Albrighton, 1, then Youri Tielemans. And at that point, if both of them aren't on, we could do James Maddison. All of them could be scoring just fine, even without the set pieces. But where I'm going to start in my builds, if we see all of those guys in, first guy in my lineup, Mason Mount, monopoly set piece taker, oftentimes for Chelsea, fantastic open play value. He shoots a lot, draws fouls, even gives you defensive stats. So Mason Mount, in my opinion, is the best player on the slate. At that point, second player for me, Mark Albrighton. And the last 2 starts, a goal and assist. Mark Albrighton has always been somebody that we know to love to cross the ball. He always gets in a wide position. Even when he doesn't have set pieces, he often gets 8 to 10 crosses. So Mark Albrighton is a great DFS play. There's no guarantee he's going to start this game. But if in, those are my first 2 guys in. From there, I love Reece James. Reece James, much like Mark Albrighton, more so before Thomas Tuchel took over. But Reece James loves to cross the ball. He does do some defensive work for you as well. Gets fouls drawn, get tackles, gets interceptions. Last game, 8 crosses. That's the Reece James we like to see. We've seen Reece James get 17 to 20 crosses. We've also seen him under Thomas Tuchel get 0. That's kind of the tilt with, the new Chelsea. So your top 3 cash plays, in my opinion, and optimal plays, you can play them in GPP, is or are Mason Mount, Mark Albrighton, Reece James. All right, let's talk about the rest of the player pool now that I gave you kind of your starting point. At the top, you see, I can't say his name right. I just call him Nacho. It's the easiest way, but Kelechi Iheanacho, I believe, is somewhat close. Feel free to correct me, but has been an absolute. One more freeze here before I go any further. Be very careful with the DraftKings logs. DraftKings only imported the FA Cup. They did not import any of the EPL data. So the 30+ games of EPL data is not in the game logs. Just a couple FA Cup games are. So if you want accurate depiction of what the guys are doing, make sure you look back into game logs from the actual Premier League. So you know. So just as a PSA, but Iheanacho has been on absolute tear. He has been the driving force of Chelsea, of Leicester over the last few weeks. He is the most expensive player on the slate and needs a goal to pay off. I think he is a fade in cash, but in GPP, obviously, if you think he scores, get him in your lineup. Next on the list, we see Timo Werner. Timo Werner at this point has been known more for his misses than his conversions. That said, he still shoots. He still draws fouls. He is going to be central, much like Iheanacho. I think he's going to need a goal or assist to get there. So more of a GPP play, but cannot fault you. James Maddison, in my opinion, is going to be the decision of the slate. Just casuals that don't play every single week are going to know James Maddison as just the guy from the EPL that you plug and play that draws fouls, shoots a ton. Just a few games ago versus Newcastle, and I think it had 5 shots. Draws fouls. Used to take every corner. So if you did not play EPL for the last 3 months, you would go James Maddison. Oh, easy. That's the easiest play on the slate. Lock and load. Now he's in the hole, so he's playing centrally. He doesn't have set pieces. He's still a phenomenal player. Well, probably up there with Mason Mount in terms of the most creative. I would actually say he's more creative than Mason Mount. But without those set pieces, it's really hard to give him the same floor he used to have. I think there's a really good chance he still ends with 7 to 9 DK. The question is, can you make up those 7 to 9 DK in floor, right? If he scores a goal or assist, he's going to get obviously a lot more than 7 to 9. But without a goal or assist, can you make that elsewhere, or do you need to spend the cost? I think that's going to decide cash games on this slate. From down there, you see Christian Pulisic, who's been very good. Not sure if he would start. I think he at this point, starting last game and starting in the Champions League, would start. But obviously, much like the previous 4, needs a goal or assist to get there. We probably see Kai Havertz at 12.9. I'm sorry, I have captain pricing up at 8,600. Goal or bust. Yuri Tielemans is another decision of the slate. If you do not see Mark Albrighton in, Yuri Tielemans is a lock. He'll be on what seems like a monopoly set pieces. Yuri Tielemans is a phenomenal player. Probably is in the contention to start for Belgium, the number 1 team in the world internationally in the Euros. He's that good. Would be on monopoly set pieces. Has good open play value. Just a stellar, truly awesome player. So again, no Albrighton. Tielemans is a lock. Albrighton in. Tielemans is a good play. Just going to be your fit. From there, we got to see Albrighton. Ben Chilwell. Is this a revenge game? Well, he played for Leicester last year. Made a ton of money by making the move to Chelsea. Probably is not that upset with Leicester, but obviously would love to show out. Ben Chilwell all season has had a decent floor, but much like Reece James, once Thomas Tuchel took over, we don't see nearly the amount of crossing, but he's wide. He's playing a wing back position, so it means he's the widest player on the left. Good play. It's an accurate price for him. There's no value there. I think Jamie Vardy at 7,200 will get a ton of interest. But much like, Nacho, much like Kai, much like Werner, much like Pulisic, goal or bust. Jamie Vardy is on PKs. Let's go down from there. We see Reece James, who would be awesome. Hopefully he plays. That would be easy. Then you're going to have your goalies. Look, here's what I'll just say about goalies. When you are scripting for GPPs, you should be scripting 0-0s. You should be scripting 1-0 one side, scripting 1-0 another. Any 1-0 result, you should have the goalkeeper in that lineup because, like I mentioned in the prelude, he will likely get a goal's worth of points. 5 for the win, 5 for the clean sheet, and then 1 save and he's at 12. So there's a goal. And especially at the prices, that's hard to make up. So goalies are probably more GPP, but if you have a strong conviction either way that Chelsea wins 1 or 2-0 or Leicester wins 1 or 2-0, play that goalie. Down in the value, it'll be interesting who plays outside for Leicester. Mark Albrighton has been playing right wing back over Pereira. Pereira is a good player. He's only 5,800 as a solid option. We've also seen, let me just make sure I got his price. Timothy Castagne, 5,200. Make sure he's not in the back 3, but when he plays wing back at 5,200, that is a great price. We'll also potentially see Luke Thomas on the left. He scored on the weekend. He's only at 4,800. So all those are good value from a wide position. All work. 2 last plays. Wilfred Ndidi is a great play on FanDuel. FanDuel rewards attempted tackles, and Wilfred Ndidi has never seen an opportunity to attempt a tackle that he will not go into. So, and on DK, he can get there. He gets you 4 to 5 DK. I think he's fine. And then N'Golo Kanté, much like Ben Chilwell, is it a revenge game for Kanté? Well, first off, I don't think N'Golo Kanté has a revenge mode in his soul. That guy's never had a moment he's not smiling. But the true engine of the EPL, N'Golo Kanté at 3,600, will play 90 minutes. Will go all out. From time to time, especially if he sees Jorginho in there, has kind of a little bit more freedom to go up and down the pitch. So at 3,600, don't think you can go wrong. I guess just finally, Jorginho, if you want to play for Chelsea PK, he's the primary PK taker for Chelsea. All right, there's a lot of picks there. Make sure you check the graphic as it's been coming through for my top picks and who to build around. But as a recap, assuming lineups are kind of as we've been seeing them, Reece James, Mark Albrighton, Mason Mount are your first 3 in. Good luck on Saturday. Thank you all once again for watching. If you want to find more of my content, check me out at GatorGuy231 on Twitter. Or I can't even say that, Twitter. And check out FSI DFS on YouTube for all of our videos. Thank you all so much. With that, I'll say, see you.